Back to the breath. Having found a comfortable position earlier, having observed the breath and the body, you are now hopefully in a state of relaxation. Observe how this feels. Observe how your breath feels now. How does the body feel? Have either changed since the start of these exercises? If so, how have they changed? Slowly bring your attention back to your breath cycle as it continues to draw air in from the outside into your lungs and then back out into the environment. In this exercise, you will observe and gently direct your breath cycle. If you think you may experience any discomfort as a result of the exercises, please adapt them or visualize the action without doing them so that you may continue with no discomfort or pain. Gently place one hand on the abdomen, the belly. This is the lower hand, and one hand on the chest. This hand I will call the upper hand. With no sudden or extreme movements, adapt your breathing pattern. So on the next in-breath, your lower hand rises as your abdomen distends and grows outward, and on the out-breath it falls, shrinking back towards the spine as your lower hand falls back down correspondingly. During this, your upper hand and chest is moving little or not at all. This is often called abdominal breathing, and in it your diaphragm, the primary breathing muscle, is drawing down as the lungs inflate. As long as this causes no discomfort, maintain this breathing pattern for a maximum of 5 breaths. Having completed that, allow your breathing pattern to settle and observe how the breath now feels, mentally noting any changes that may have taken place. With no sudden or extreme movements, adapt your breathing pattern so on the next in-breath your upper hand gently rises as your chest gently grows outward, and on the out-breath it gently falls, shrinking back to the spine as your upper hand falls back down correspondingly. During this, your lower hand and abdomen is moving little or not at all. This is often called thoracic or chest breathing. As long as this causes no discomfort, maintain this breathing pattern for a maximum of 5 breath cycles. Having completed that, allow your breathing pattern to settle and observe how the breath now feels, mentally noting any changes that may have taken place. Again, with no sudden or extreme movements, adapt your breathing pattern so on the next in-breath, your upper and lower hands both gently rise, as your abdomen and chest both gently grow outward, and on the out-breath both gently fall back towards the spine as your lower and upper hands fall back down correspondingly. Continue these deep breaths for a maximum of 3 breaths. Having completed that, allow your breathing pattern to settle and observe how the breath now feels, mentally noting any changes that may have taken place. Slowly coming back from the relaxation. As we come towards the end of these exercises, notice any effects or techniques you may have found helpful. Much of these exercises have drawn the concentration inward in order to calm the body and mind. Very slowly and in your own time, allow some external influences into your observation. Perhaps the sounds or smell or light of the space you are currently in. Notice any changes this has on your state of mind. Continue with this for a few breaths. Now draw your attention inwards as you once again concentrate more exclusively on your breath cycle as we have done before. Continue with this for a few breaths. You may be able to notice the external influences losing their significance as they recede from your concentration as you observe your breath. Continue with this for a few more breaths. Once again, allow some of the external influences back into your observation, trying to maintain some observation of your breath cycle at the same time. This is not always easy, so give yourself some time. Continue with this for a few breaths. In the exercises you have now nearly completed, you have found a physically comfortable position in which you have observed the breath, observed the body, and explored the relationship between the two. Finally, as we draw these exercises to a close, slowly bring your attention back into the space you are in, gently developing your sense of alertness and awareness. Stretch your feet and hands, stretch your legs and arms, and perhaps also draw the shoulders back and slowly open the chest. Very slowly start to open your eyes if they are not already open. This draws these exercises to a close.